Bro, I'm pumping off adrenaline. I'm way too in my element. I know there's people better than, but right now who is better than? A man that's working hard as shit, trying to find a pot to piss. Showing all the ups and downs, shit is filled with awkwardness. Working on my discipline, time for me, I schedule it. Show my life unedited, I be doing shit I never did. Music therapeutic.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Extreme Lifestyle Living Podcast. It's actually funny, I'm recording another episode in the car again. I feel like it's just like my little nook and cranny. You know, life's been so busy lately and the house is all over the place because we've been showing it to a bunch of people to try to get it rented and just a lot of things going on, you know? So it's funny, I used to do a lot of work in the car because I found the car was like another safe haven for me, like the gym. I used to, actually, funny story is I actually sold my car within the last month, and it's the first time I haven't had my own personal car in, since I was like 17 or 18 years old. So we're going on like 12, 13 years of me having my own form of transportation that I truly loved, and now I'm kind of stuck. Me and all my friends were joking that obviously this isn't true, but just a little bit of a joke that with them I'm one argument away from going to the fucking bus stop. At first she's like, go fuck yourself, but I'm actually sitting in her car. It's like I don't know, just nice. It's cozy, sitting in my spot, and with the, like I said, with the house all over the place, the podcast studio / office is just kind of a little bit mangled right now, and it's just not as cozy, and I can't be just calm collecting into it. But to jump in today's episode, I think it's really relevant for everybody to a degree, whether it's more relevant now based on what season of life we're in, or just it's it's not really relevant and saying it's relevant type shit for your life. And that's where maybe listening to this podcast will open up a couple things for you to maybe think about in terms of what the topic is and how it affects you. But two reasons why I'm going to talk about it is, number one, it's something that I got stuck with very heavily. Just during this journey of creating a life that I love. And, I've had a lot of trials and tribulations, all blessings, because every trial and tribulation, there's always a silver lining. No matter how bad it is, it could get worse. So the fact that it's not quote unquote worse means there's silver lining for you to grow somewhere. And, I think our ego, if you've been here for a while, I talk about ego a lot. Ego is your sense of self and how you hold yourself to a standard, validated X, Y, and Z, long story short. But, I've struggled with this type of mindset shift pattern for, honestly, I think I still do. I think I always will. I think we all will kind of struggle with this kind of shift in a bit, for a bit, especially when we, again, when it ties into our ego. But the second reason why I'm going to talk about this topic is it just organically came up amongst a couple clients, a couple friends, and I just think it's a very eye-opening topic in general. But what the topic of this episode is what you truly deserve in life, and not to get caught up in the quote-unquote I deserve X trap. And what I mean by I deserve X trap is literally what I mean by what it sounds like. Our body, our mind, our soul, everything about us will convince us that we deserve something more than maybe we don't necessarily deserve it. And not to make it a negative switch to it, but when you get caught up with the I deserve X, I deserve a better life, I deserve more money, I deserve better boundaries, I deserve a better relationship, I deserve a better life, in terms of whatever avenue it is for you that hits that, little bit of a tone for your emotional state. I just think it's very important to understand what that means, what you're saying, what it actually means. And that's why I said what you truly deserve in life, not when you get caught up in the idea of what you think you deserve trap. Because if you get caught up in your emotional state and allow these kind of thought patterns, this mental health perspective really let your ego in your life and everything run rampant, you can create a mental algorithm of just thinking negativity all the fucking time, because no matter what you do or how you do it, you think you deserve more. And this is why we're going to talk about what you truly deserve, is because that whole I deserve X really stems from two things. There's obviously millions of things that could stem from, but two things predominantly. Number one is you've been putting in work for a long time and you're just not sure why you aren't where you think you should be. And there's a little bit of a gap in terms of the work that you're actually doing versus the work that's actually been put in, and the work that you've been doing and the results that you've been given. So there's a little bit of a transition abyss in there where you're like, hey, I've been putting in the work, I've been showing up, I've been doing all the things, why aren't I X? That could go for your career state. I've been at this job, I've been at this company, I've been doing this career for so many different years, months. I did so many certificates, I did so many hours of apprenticeship, I did so many, applications for the promotion or to a new job. It's like, I deserve that new job, I deserve that raise, I deserve that validation in some source. And to be honest, that's what it all stems from, is that validation. I deserve X. X is that validation that you deserve what you want. And this is where it's really important to, again, before I go on a tangent about what you truly deserve, is to take a big step back and reflect, which is the second thing. I kind of went on a little bit of a tangent, but the first thing, like I said, is the transition of Biz getting caught up in it. But the second thing is really aligning your goals to make sure you know what your goals are. Because if you don't have a very vivid, clear, detail-oriented picture as to where you want to go, why you want to go there, how you're going to get there, and what that looks like once you're there. And what I mean by that is, when you say I deserve X, you really got to know, like, let's say, prime example, we can all say this: I deserve more money. I work all the time, put in the work, I'm still living paycheck to paycheck, or I'm still budgeting a lot. I just want to be financially free where I don't got to check a fucking account and I'm fucking good. And then you're like, so I deserve more money, I've been putting in the work. To a degree, you are right. But when you say financial freedom and not to check my bank account, do you actually know what that means? Do you actually know what that is? And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Prime example, when you say financially free, I don't got to check my account, that is some bullshit perspective that is so fucking fake that your ego makes you feel like you deserve something that doesn't exist. Because if you just say I deserve more money, deserve more freedom, and just don't want to check my account, wish I could travel more, but have no idea of what that actually looks like on the other end, your ego is straight up fucking lying to you. Do you have a savings plan? Do you have an investor you talk to? Do you even have appointments in the bank to look at your finances from the degree of the standard that you need to be able to look in the mirror and say I deserve more? Do you know what I mean? We all want to have unlimited amounts of money to sit down and do what we want, when we want, how we want. But how we get there is different. And if you don't have an actual clear plan as to how you're going to get it, who the fuck are you to say you deserve it? And that sounds harsh, but again, it goes back into what you truly deserve. You only ever truly deserve what you actually put work in for. So the financial one's easy because we can all relate to it across the board. We deserve more money. We've been putting in time. We've been putting in certificates. We got education. We got all this fucking shit that makes us feel like we're validated. And to a degree, you are right. You're validated. You put in the work. You stayed in the arena. You fought. You never lost. You showed there. But since you have a little bit of a lack of clarity as to exactly what this quote unquote financial freedom is for you, then it's like, how can you say you deserve something when you don't even know what it looks like for you to deserve it? And it's like, same thing with your fitness. A lot of us say, oh, I went to the gym. I've been active my whole life. I've been doing different programs. I had different coaches. I've been doing different sports, all these things. I deserve to look in the mirror and feel more gratified with what I see. It's like, okay, that's true. But like, how hard have your workouts been hit? I actually had a conversation with someone recently, one of my clients, and he was like, yeah, man, last 6 weeks I've been putting in the work. I've been going to the gym. I've been showing up. I'm feeling fucking good. But I just don't look as good as I think I should and what I want and X, Y, and Z. And it's, okay, let's look at the facts here. The facts are the last 4 weeks or 4 to 6 weeks, and he wouldn't mind me sharing this, but I won't share his name. Last 4 to 6 weeks, he thought he was going to the gym 5 times a week for 6 weeks straight. He only ever went 5 times once, 4 times for 3 other weeks, and the other remaining weeks within there is only 2 to 3 times a week on average. So your ego gets rampant with like, I put in the work, I put in the time, I showed up. Yeah, you're right. But did you show up to the degree that you can based on what you think you want to go for? No, you haven't. You didn't give 5 times in a week for 6 weeks straight, so you don't have results of that magnitude. So same thing with your nutrition and your finances and your boundaries in life. You can't sit there and say you deserve things that you don't have a clear, vivid fucking understanding of what it is. For me personally, to where this all came into play for me was my business. Like, I'm very fortunate to have as many clients as I do, like 35 to 45 at all times, just on the roster. And, I got my community online with Instagram with 3,000 people that I talk to. And obviously I don't talk to everybody, but I'm very included. And I talk to a lot of these people, to be honest, more often than not. And then other community with other head coaches with 1,500 other members in it that are paying members and 1,500 clients to these coaches that I'm working with on Team Lifts. And it's like, I got caught in with the, I deserve to have 100 clients. I feel like I deserve X. I feel like I deserve to be here. I feel like all these things. And I was talking to one of my mentors and he was like, hey man, I hear you say this word deserve. And he's like, I'm not here to tell you what you feel like you deserve, or I'm not here to tell you what you should have deserved at X, Y, and Z. He's like, but you got to be cautious with how you say I deserve, because once you say I deserve, you feel like you're without. So if you deserve X, that means you're saying you are without X. And for you to say you are without X is to degrade you, to take away your validity, to put you in a box that's not as accurate as it should be. Because just because you feel like you deserve something doesn't mean you're less than. And that's why you got to have a very clear picture as to what it is that you want. And for me, I want to have 75 to 100 clients. And I'm like, I feel like I've been in the arena fighting and showing up for X amount of years. I feel like I deserve that. And he goes, yeah, you probably do deserve that. But let's work backwards. And the harsh reality of it was 2 things. 1, I never anticipated getting all of my time back from this career and how that would impact my life. And what I mean by that is I don't have to work a set hour schedules. I don't got to listen to anybody. I just got to do everything on my own accord. And with me doing everything on my own accord, on my own free will, that comes with its own handful of problems. I got to deal with myself, disappointing myself, and, really relying on myself to stick to a certain set of self-disciplinary tasks and habits and routines to get me to a certain position. I straight up just wasn't doing that. I was living my life a little bit more abundantly, more free in some other realms that I didn't even realize were fucking amazing places for me to be in. So which is why I made a huge shift to hang with my family more, enjoy my presence and my time, and hang with Emma more. Just enjoy the future fruits of my labor of what level of life I've already earned. And that's the level of life I deserve, which is a phenomenal fucking level of life that I'm playing at. But again, like I said, when you get caught up with what you think you deserve, you put yourself in this little bit of a bracket of, okay, I deserve X, I'm not there yet, so I'm without. So I was walking around feeling like I was without X when I didn't even know what I deserved as terms of X. All of a sudden I want 75 clients, all of a sudden I want 100 clients. I have that many people paying me to help them with their mental health, their emotional state, their workouts, their programming, their nutrition is fucking amazing. But have I done the work to get there? No. I haven't. So that landslide of a shift really opened up my eyes as to what I truly deserve in life. And all we only truly deserve in our life is what we fucking put in stone and what we show up and actually create action for. If you want to lose 20 pounds of fat, 30 pounds of fat, 5 pounds of fat, you got to track your nutrition 110%. And until you do that, it's not going to fucking happen. If you want to gain muscle, you want to get performance-based metrics, like get your 5K faster, or like do agility courses or Spartan races or high rocks, until you put in the work for those types of workouts 110%. And honestly, don't just show up in the arena and have shitty ass fucking workouts, not put 110% effort when you're almost practically dying, then it's that you're not going to get it. Same thing with your boundaries in your relationships. Every single one of us want to be treated with more respect, want to have more confidence, want to have everyone else around us uplift us and put us on this pedestal from a healthy manner. But are you even telling people how you truly feel at every turn or every drop of a dime when you're feeling some type of way? Probably not. So how can you sit here and demand something from life that doesn't truly exist besides in your imagination? And I feel like it's so relevant for everyone just to kind of understand that subtle shift, because we all deserve the best life ever. You all listening to this deserve to have every fucking dream and aspiration that you want. But again, you got to make sure your ego isn't caught up with the idea of what you think you deserve versus what you actually deserve. You only truly deserve what you put the work in for. You want to change your life financially, you're going to have to invest hours and maybe days, weeks, months, and years into education, self-development, self-actualization, doing shit you don't fucking like to get to that level that you want. And until you have that level that you want in fucking front of you, you don't deserve it. You straight up don't deserve it. And it's not a negative thing to say you don't deserve it, because again, it's a subtle shift of just because you don't have X doesn't mean you're without X. It means you don't have X yet because of X. You don't have the financial support and stability in your life that you want because you haven't made enough money yet. How you never made enough money yet comes back to several different factors. Is it education? Is it certificates? Do you need a job change? Do you need to go, like whatever that is, you know what it looks like. Can you embrace it? Same thing with your boundaries. Oh, I deserve to be in a better relationship. I deserve to feel better in my skin. I deserve to be more confident. Yeah, you fucking do. But have you done and did the necessary actions and tasks to cut all the people out in your life that don't fucking get along with you? To align your life with people that just are like-minded individuals that support you? And have you actually looked at the people and the things in your life that press your boundaries and make you feel less than and confronted them? You don't got to go to everyone in your life and say, hey, fuck you, bud, you did X. It's like, no, it's about you at least standing tall to stand confident on what you feel like and what you deserve. And the biggest thing is the career, man. We all feel like we want more money. We all feel like we want to be just way more advanced and be able to be retired and all these different things. But do you actually know what it takes to do that? Do some quick research. It's not social media bullshit where you open up your phone, you scroll for 10 minutes, and you get caught up in this fucking dumbass perspective of, oh, everyone on social media has everything that I don't. It's like, go fuck yourself. Seriously, just shut the fuck up if you're one of these people that, and I know this is a little bit harsh and tough love, but we're living in the 21st century. If this was 100 years ago, when no phones would exist, you'd only see the people that are in front of you actually doing shit to move the life forward. And you're not sitting online. My job wouldn't exist. I would only survive if I literally was doing in-person training sessions of some degree. That online infrastructure wouldn't have existed. So if I'm not willing to do that type of work, then it's like I'm not going to see the levels of success that I want. And nowadays, so many of you guys just allow the social media perspective, the news, the marketing of all this shit just get into your heads and make you feel less than. And it's just like, Not to sound rude, but like, how weak are you as a human to allow the perspectives of other people get into you and fucking hurt who you are? This is why it's important to know what you truly deserve. You truly deserve, and this is where the positive switch comes into. If that was a little bit too harsh for you, the fucking positive aspect of this is that you truly deserve the work that you put in. If you go to the gym 3 to 6 times a week and you protect that boundary for more often than not, for weeks on end, months on end, and years on end, you do deserve to look at the people that don't do that and say you are better than. Doesn't mean they're less than, but you're better than because you're willing to do it. If you are actually chasing financial security and a financial abundance and you're willing to sacrifice the temporary moments now of drinking every weekend and doing all the fucking drugs and dinners and stupid bullshit that most people do nowadays just to get temporary validation for that long-term validation, until you're able to do that and fuck that fear missing note bullshit mentality, then you'll see the level of success that you want. Same thing with your boundaries. You can't expect a guy or a girl to come up to you and be like, hey, so and so, I think you're X. Let's get together and do X. Like, no man is gonna come sweep you off your feet. No woman is gonna come sweep you off your feet. You gotta go in life and get what you want, and that's how you deserve what you get, is by actually fucking doing it. But again, if you don't have any clarity as to exactly what these things are, which is why social media is bullshit, because you can open up social media at any point and see a beach. Oh, it's cold here. I deserve to be on the beach. Okay, how are you going to get there? Or are you just going to let your emotional state run rampant like a fucking little child? Like, we're all adults here, and I know this sounds a little bit of aggressive, but I'm just proactively gaining more confidence and certainty as to how I truly feel in this world. And I hate saying it this way, but at the end of the day, my mom was, I don't want to say what she was. I don't want to say this out too loud. But, I grew up in witness protection program. I'll put it that way. Mom went through some stuff. No one in my family graduated high school. I was adopted by my grandmother. We dealt with a lot of court systems and racism and, poverty and all of these different things. And these things used to label me and make me feel some type of way. But if I can sit here and just gain understanding and just sit here so tall and be like, listen, like, nothing fucking matters aside from what you want, what you actually put the work in for, and then that'll come to fruition. It's like any of you guys can do it. And you really got to get out of your fucking head to allow social media or the false perceptions of other people's lives to get into your head. Everybody lies. Everybody lies. Every single person on your social media that you aspire to be like or that hurts your feelings because you're like, oh, I wish I could do this, is all a lie. Is there people that maybe blew up on TikTok and blew up on these social media things and got lives that we want? 100%. That's just the name in the game. That's no different than when, investing became a real thing, and then all of a sudden there was a bunch of fucking middle-aged white men and some women that were, oh, I'm an investment firm, and everything's like, yo, just took advantage of the market, the right place, right time. No fucking different than the housing crisis. When the housing crisis went down, all the real estate agents went up. It's no different. So there's a little bit of a degree of just, life happens, but you got to understand that 90% of it's a fucking facade, and if you allow yourself to get caught up into it and let your ego become a part of that as well, that's when you get caught up in the I deserve X trap. You deserve nothing besides what you put the work in for. And if you feel like you've been putting in the work and you feel like you still haven't deserved what you feel like you've been working towards, then you lack clarity on where you're even fucking going. Period. And I do apologize that was a little bit aggressive, but I just think some of you guys just really need to be confident with what you've actually done in your life and understand that the actions speak louder than where you think you want to go in terms of your thoughts or words. Actions speak volumes. Like I said, if you go to the gym 3 to 6 times a week and have been doing that for over a year, over a couple months, over a couple weeks, anyone that is not doing that is not in the same tax bracket as you physically. If you are proactively working on your boundaries, not saying they're fucking perfect, but are speaking up for yourself, listening to yourself in terms of your mental health, and what you need and want out of other people, just because you're not there yet doesn't mean that you're never going to get there. But if you are proactively fucking fighting for that life, then you are better than the people that are just being reactive for their entire life. If your financial place, if you are even worried about investing or savings or buying a house and all these different things, and you have people around you that aren't speaking the same language, fuck them. And I just think a lot of you guys are just kind of nervous or scared to let go of anything that's around your old people or any of your old family members or old friend groups, just because of the fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of missing out, all this fake constructs that are no different than the fake construct of your ego telling you deserve X that you never put the work in for. So that's my end of my rant, but I just think it hits home for me right now because 6 to 8 months ago when I had a conversation with one of my mentors about that, it changed everything for me. I realized I was operating from a standpoint of I think I deserve X, but really I'm working towards X. And it's like once you align what you're actually working for add a little bit of clarity into exactly what these goals look like for you, the financial freedom, the perfect relationship and the boundaries, and, you know, the physical results of what you want to look for and how you're going to, how you want to look and feel and all those things, then you'll really realize there's a lot of gaps. There's a lot of gaps in terms of where you're probably not showing up. And then you just kind of rather get that false sense of validation within those temporary moments of your emotional spiraling to feel validated. So you're like, it's okay. You know, many people feel this way, or, it's okay. I'll eat this food now because, you know, I'm never going to see results, or, it's okay. I'll go on a date with this guy, or I'll stay in a relationship with this girl because, you know, it's not going to get any better. Or, you know, what's this point of spending $60 now? $60 isn't going to make a dent towards my debt. So fuck it. You know, if you have this catastrophic mindset where you just kind of are repetitively going in circles, hurting yourself because of your false sense of where you think you should be, you just simply lack the fucking clarity. And I need to be aggressive because no one's going to come save you. Like I said, no one's going to come save you, tell you where you need to be, how you need to be there. If you want something, you got to go and get it. And that's just the harsh reality that you guys are playing at. And that's not even a harsh reality. I think it's a very, very big blessing to end off the podcast episode with a positive note is, if this hits home for you guys all, like if this hits home for you at any of you guys home, like hits hard, like you're like, fuck, that was a gut punch. And, you know, maybe the aggressive tone that I had was a little bit of a gut punch. Know that that's a fucking blessing because it shows that you're not a fucking sheep. You're not just going through the ringer of life and being a fucking bitch on your life. You're actually going for what you want to believe in, what you believe you deserve in, and you're willing to make a change on your life. And that's the most important aspect of it, because when you talk about reflecting on what you actually put the work in for, so many of you have changed generational traumas, generational wealth, changed the generations. All your friend groups have changed because of you going to the gym and changing your boundaries. There's so much positive benefits to you changing your life already around you, that you allow your ego and the fake false sense of who you think you are or where you need to be just cloud that. And when you can actually look at the actions you guys have put in, you guys already put in 90% of the hardest amount of work. The rest of it is the consistency and a little bit of clarity and being honest as to what the real issues are and the real work you got to do and the real work you probably have been ignoring. You know, we're not perfect by any means, but, you know, at the end of the day, we all do deserve the best life that, you know, we're capable of. But key word is capable. And are you willing to embrace 110% of those capabilities? And a lot of you guys are right now, which is why this is a positive twist on the very end of the podcast. Because if it is hitting home, it means that you are doing everything fucking right. And that's why it's hard to stay so consistent and hard to stay in the arena, because no one's going to come validate you besides you. That's what's crazy about this, because even me, the level that I'm playing and where I'm at with my career and everything like this, that's the biggest thing I learned is no one's going to come save you. And as you are the leader in your life, you got to make sure you continue to lead. And some of you guys aren't with this I deserve X trap. And, you know, what you truly deserve is what you put in the work for. And a lot of you guys have put in some fucking great work. And until you goddamn appreciate that, you're never going to grow further. So that's all I got for this episode. I appreciate you guys all. I hope this had a couple of banger hits for you guys or some takeaways, because for me personally, it's really just dividing the scarce mindset that I have and really making that divide to what I actually deserve in this life, the abundant mindset with the real clarity and the real action to put in. It's making that gap so big, and I love it because it's making my goal so clear. And, you know, it's making me realize 99% of what we want in life is right in front of us. But we either just don't embrace it because it makes us feel some type of emotional state that we're avoiding or numbing. And the rest of it's just showing up and putting in the fucking work, you know, which we're already fucking doing. But other than that, I want to keep ranting, so I'm going to shut the fuck up. Got a lot of energy today. Just did a work block at a cafe, so I had like way too much espresso. But it was nice. You know, I haven't been to that a cafe in a bit, so I enjoyed a little bit of the caffeine high. But I appreciate you all. Keep showing up and putting in that work, and know that what you truly deserve in life is the actions behind the speaking. So don't let your ego run rampant. Put in the work and keep showing up and demand life to give you what you deserve. Let's get it.
I'm way too in my element. I know there's people better than, but right now who is better than? A man that's working hard as shit, trying to find a pot to piss. Showing all the ups and downs, shit is filled with awkwardness. Working on my discipline, time for me, I schedule it. Show my life unedited, I be doing shit I never did. Music therapeutic, here's a little dose of medicine.